Ladies and gentlemen, Monroe Mann here with Break Diving. Join me again is the lovely Emily Appel, a volunteer at Break Diving as well. If you're new, please subscribe to our channel. Please click like. Download our mobile app. You can get it on Google Play and the App Store. We're releasing a new version in a few days. So if you do download it today, make sure that you check for the updates in the coming days. So, hello, Emily. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing all right, Monroe. Ready to talk about our topics today.
Excellent. So, first one we talked about was AI. I was at the bookstore today,
Oh,
and
okay.
look what book I found.
Oh, how cool.
So I'm excited about this: a comprehensive guide to implementing AI for social good. And the topics are the table of contents is very interesting, and
Yeah,
some of them are. But AI for program development, AI for fundraising, AI
nice.
for volunteer engagement and management, AI for marketing, not for profits, AI for human resources, and I feel like I could learn a lot about it in general. But how amazing that this like a book already is out.
Yeah.
AI has been around for a year and a half.
It's
Um,
been around for a lot longer. We just haven't realized.
Let me rephrase. It's been around a year and a half for the average person.
Yeah, totally.
I don't think I think it's really just hit the mainstream in the last year and a half,
Yeah, I do
and
think he opened a whole bucket of worms.
and well, yeah. I mean, picking up where we were talking about last time, it's hard for me to imagine a year from now. And you saw that post that I made on break diving about all of the top 50 jobs that are going to be. You know what was surprising?
What is it?
Lawyer was not on that list. Did you know? Did you look at that list?
I actually didn't get a chance to look at it. I can pull it up now, though. I would love to talk about it.
I mean, you can pull it up or not. Doesn't matter. But I'm pretty sure I looked to see if lawyer was on there, and I thought the fact that you know what it is. Maybe it's just because legal stuff it requires a compliance is such an important issue. Do you
Yeah,
really want? But at the same time, safety is such an important issue, and yet Tesla is and Waymo, they're all creating these self-driving cars
yeah.
and they're letting people get into them. So
I do think that law is just so very connected to humanity, what we determine as good and bad, which is a subjective concept, something that AI is not really good at.
yeah, and may never be good at. But I'm excited to. I'm going to share with you. I'm going to do some reading of this week, and so next week when we meet again,
Yeah,
I'll give you an update on what the thing that really jumped out at me is the fact that we were able to find 3 reasonably good grants to apply to just from searching on ChatGPT. And I'm just thinking, well, if this book can help inspire ideas to help develop even more uses for AI
yeah,
for the company, what I want to do, and I think Ishmael and I were talking about this for a while, we wanted to really get an AI chatbot on break diving so that any of the members who have questions, we
can
just
just
feed it in all of the information about break diving, and it'll tell them this is how you certify a dive, this is how you do this, etc. Hello to the people who are just joining us. We're having an interesting discussion about AI, pursuing your dreams, the importance of reading, keeping your dreams alive, and also computer programming and web development, and because that's what both Emily and I do as well. And if any of you have any questions that are even completely off topic, as long as it's within this idea of self-development, break diving, which is the idea of don't wait for opportunities to float to the surface, you want to dive in and make your own big breaks in life. We want you to become a break diver. I just want to switch to the topic of the computer coding for a second because I know you're talking about it. If you use a PC, but You have not been using Windows subsystem for Linux this whole time?
No, I have been using it. It has been installed. It just was causing conflicts with my environment on my home PC, which is why I decided to use Docker because I noticed you guys had a Docker file. So I was like, that could possibly work. And it did fix most of the issues that I was having. I got the bug working, and then I was able to run the source code from Pragmatic Studio also through Docker. So I do think,
I don't have a problem if you use Docker, but you have to make sure that you're not adding new files to development that are going to make something work for you. But then when we push it to us, it doesn't work because none of us are using Docker. That Docker file was an experiment from a couple of
20
years ago.
Yeah, I did notice that because, like, I got my Pragmatic Studio code working on there, and I was like, "Okay, great, like, I'm gonna move on to Community," and now I realized that the Docker file wasn't updated, and so I was, kind of in between, like, "Okay, should I just go back to using only WSL or maybe possibly update the Docker file for other people who wanna use Windows and have that working?" So, kind of something that I kinda wanna
That was
experiment.
I. You just said an and I told you I'm going to call you out on it every time you say it from now on. So you got to start.
Yeah.
So Stoner just called me beautiful. Thank you so much. I know you were referring to me and not to Emily because we know that I am far more attractive than Emily. So you're probably referring to me. But whoever you're referring to, we appreciate the compliment, Stoner. And Sankat, I don't know what an Osho guy is. Maybe they're a YouTube channel or something. I'm not sure, but you can share that with us. What's up, Furious Angel? Sounds like an interesting discussion. What's the subject? So we were talking about AI for a moment. Now we just talked about web development and Ruby on Rails and Docker. Emily is joining the coding team for my not-for-profit breakdiving, and she's having some trouble getting some of the environmental variables to work, and so we're just trying to troubleshoot various ways and various solutions. Emily, I will say that the fact that no one on the team, whether they use Mac, Linux, or WSL,
Yeah.
no one's using Docker. And this
Yeah.
is like 15 people. So there's something fundamentally wrong with your setup that is preventing you from. I don't care which way it is. I care two things. Most importantly, don't do anything that's going to end up causing problems when you push a PR and then suddenly, like all of us are testing, this doesn't work. Oh, because you're using Docker.
Yeah.
And that's one concern. The second concern is I'd like you to get up and running as quickly as possible. And if Docker does help make that possible, then that's great. But I still find it very weird that you're having trouble
Yeah.
using just normal WSL.
I will say I found a friend for WSL, and they're able to help me, like, fix anything that is currently wrong with my program. So that will be a huge help over this weekend when I go back onto working on it. And I will say that for now, the Docker usage just for, like, regular Rails projects has been really helpful for me to continue in Pragmatic Studio. So, um,
Okay.
no,
But you can't, but you don't have the breakdiving working on localhost.
yeah, that's what I'm working on now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Furious Angel, do you know anything about coding and tech? Are we making any sense to you, or is this just a fascinating yeah, conversation? Anna, all right, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but Anna's talking about dating, and I'm hoping that it's not inappropriate. This guy I was dating for 3 months ended saying things won't work out between us. No explanation, no closure. He just left. We didn't even have any issues between. So Anna, I did this. I did this comedy. I'm going to share my perspective, and then Emily can share her perspective on dating as well. I did my character Rocco Tribbiani on my own personal channel. He talks like, "Hey, how you doing? My name's Rocco Tribbiani, and I'm from New York, and we got some pizza going on here, and I'll give you some dating advice." So anyway, they asked Rocco Tribbiani for dating advice, and my Rocco Tribbiani's dating advice was, if you're a guy, stay away from both sexes, and if you're a girl, stay away from both sexes, because any romantic relationships are trouble, and they're going to get there. Everybody's crazy. No romantic relationship is sane or rational. That's the whole idea of love. Love throws logic out the window. So what I will say to you, and Emily will share her 2 cents in a moment, is guys are crazy, and people change their minds on a moment's notice, more so than they did 40 years ago, before the internet and text messaging, and the way that information processes so quickly for everybody in the news cycle. People lose interest very quickly. Men don't have the ability to go up and talk to a girl anymore. And you see a girl, they just look, but they don't have the guts to go, "Hey, how are you? Maybe we have something in common. Oh, hey, can I have your phone number? I'd like to take." That doesn't happen anymore. And because that doesn't happen anymore, the women get all freaked out when a guy comes up and starts talking to them, and they think, "What's wrong with this creeper dude? Why is this guy coming up to me? Dude, get away from me." Why am I telling you this? Is you probably didn't do anything wrong. And this guy probably just got, who knows, maybe he found somebody else. Maybe he got bored. Maybe he moved out of the country. Who knows? And just said, "You know what? It's just easier for me to just drop this person." Because, and I bet it's easier too, because this person probably doesn't see you on a daily basis. I'm imagining this person doesn't go to school with you, doesn't go to work with you, because I don't think somebody would do this if they had to face you. If they did, even more of a coward, even more of a loser, that this person would do this for you. And so take heart. It's happened to me. Girls just ghost me, and I've had my heart broken a million times, and it's not fun. And just when I think I have found some, I'm 47 now, and I think, "Oh my gosh, I think I found that," she just disappears. Or we go, I go out on dates, and I've gone out with like two nights, and then she goes, "Oh, by the way, my boyfriend." Oh, you suddenly have a boyfriend. You suddenly have a boyfriend. It's crazy. So that's why Rocker was saying, just stay away from romantic relationships. That's the easiest way to not. I'm kind of joking, because, of course, I hope you find that special someone. But at the same time, when you start pursuing love, you're inevitably going to get into trouble in some way, shape, or form. Emily, I think you mentioned you have a significant other, and apparently that, I guess that's going well. I don't know. Tell us about your advice for Miss Anna.
I do have a boyfriend. It is going well, but it does take commitment from both sides and effort and willing to continue things. After a certain point, it doesn't just happen easily. It's definitely not like the movies. So it really is up to the person. I think a lot of the things that you were saying are no sorry, completely
Hey,
valid.
you caught it. See now you're on the right track.
Right minds. I do think that everything you were saying is very valid. It is unfortunate. I see that they said that he went to another country. So what you said about not having to face responsibility for that is a huge issue. And actually the whole idea of men not approaching women and women having an awkward encounter with that afterward has is totally an issue that has been has been documented in a show called Adolescence. I don't know if you've seen it.
Mm-mm.
Very famous now and has been awarded for really highlighting this issue and how it's connected to larger systemic issues. So I would recommend
And where does somebody find this show?
on Netflix, I think it is. It's
Okay.
called Adolescence. Yeah.
I mean, dating was hard back when I was in high school and when I was in college, and there were no cell phones and the internet was just getting started. It's horrible today. And it's even more difficult for people if you've left school. It's easy for Emily, quote unquote, because she's in school. And so is this someone that goes to your school?
Yeah, I met them in one of my classes.
Yeah. So that makes it a lot easier. Once you graduate from school, and Emily will probably realize this sometime over the next 10 years, once you get into the real world, everything becomes more difficult, and especially dating. And if you're on these dating apps, that makes you feel even more terrible about yourself. If you're not in school anymore, you don't have and a job, you kind of don't want to really maybe necessarily date the people you work with. That causes problems. Where do you go? You go to a bar, or you go onto the dating apps, and these dating apps are filled with bots. They're filled with gold diggers. They're filled with just mean people who, again, don't take any responsibility for the other person's feelings, and it's very very unfortunate. So I hope that answers your question, Anna. And if you want us to go into any more depth, you let us know. Sanket says Osho is Rajneesh. Okay, an Indian godman and philosopher. Fantastic. Okay, someone wants to feed you cheesecake. Uh, I think she's probably going to decline.
Yeah.
I will decline on her behalf. No cheesecake for Emily. Oh, he went to another country. So Anna, that's what you were talking about, Emily.
Yeah.
Where she said that. Mark my words, Anna. He will get in touch with you when he comes back. And I think at that point you need to ask yourself, is this guy really worth it? Or is that disrespect once? I always say give people a second chance under one condition. The person genuinely shows remorse and genuinely apologizes and saying, I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't know how good I had it. And why do I say that? Because I have made mistakes with girls before, and it was a stupid mistake. And I learned my lesson, but they did not give me a second chance. And I think it could have been beautiful had I just had an opportunity to realize, okay, don't be an idiot again, Monroe, and don't take somebody for granted. But I would not give somebody a second chance a third time. But always give second chances. And I've learned that lesson hard way through many things where I was never given a second chance with a job interview that went poorly. And I said, can I please have another opportunity? And they would say, no, absolutely not. But if anybody comes after me and says, I've learned, can I please have another opportunity? And I'm sorry for the mistakes that I made, whether it's a girl or a friend or a job interviewee, whatever, I've learned to always give people second chances. Do you have any thoughts on second chances?
No, yeah, I think that that is a great mindset, and definitely that people learn mistakes, who are willing to acknowledge that, have the opportunity and capacity for change, and so I do think that that is a very real thing that should be applied more often, and a lot of the time we don't see that.
Yeah, I think, honestly, if any of you get only one lesson from what we're talking about today, is give people second chances who genuinely apologize. Don't just let someone say, "Oh, come on, give me a second chance." But if you don't see that they have changed, or that you don't see that they're trying to make an effort to right their wrong, then don't give somebody that second chance. I'm not giving people second chances just for whatever, but do give people second chances if they are showing remorse. I just saw like, and then it went away, and then it came back, and there's no one even watching. Okay, now there are two people watching. Literally, what's going on with YouTube? There
Hi.
says zero people watching. And did somebody say hi?
Yeah, someone said hi.
Furious Angel asks, in response to your original question, I do work in information technology in a software security company, see the life cycle of our products, plus provide technical support to international companies. I think Furious Angel already left because we only have one person here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he got furious. And you are not being very angelic if you are getting furious at us. The
Very
majority of our customers are US based. Thank you so much, guys. You're welcome, Anna. Osho holds the Guinness World Record for reading more than one lock book. I don't know what a lock is. You need to
me.
speak to us Westerners about what a lock is, but I imagine it must be some unit of measurement in Hinduism or something. What's up, Marjata? How are you? Did you look up what a lock is?
Looking it up now. How does one spell?
Lakh.
Interesting. 100,000. Wow, that is an impressive amount of books.
But what is it? What language is that? What is a
Uh,
lock?
yeah, let's see. It must be Hindu. Let's see here.
Oh, Sankit just wrote 100,000.
Yeah, it is Hindu.
It's okay. So very interesting. One
Thank you.
lock books. Have they? How does the Guinness Book of World Records determine what the definition of reading is and the definition of book is? Because I could read 100,000 books if each book is only 2 pages long. Or I could read 100,000 books if I just browse through them very quickly and don't really remember anything.
Yeah,
So
I'm curious what time frame for that was as well.
yeah, what he goes, Osho also holds a Guinness World Record for being the oldest human alive at 1,300 years.
Wow.
So all right, so our other anyway, so all right, I'm glad you've got somebody who can help you with WSL.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, very cool. Um, let me know too, and let me know if I can. Again, we have some other folks that can help you as well if you still get completely stuck. Sanket says he can explain each single line and remember everything.
Oh,
Marjata tells me, she's talking to me, saying, "You look good, girl." Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you calling me girl. That's cool. Like you call me boy, girl, whatever. Maybe you're talking about Emily. I don't know.
I
By the
don't
way,
think.
Marjata sounds like a girl's name. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy. Are you a girl or a guy, Marjata? Marjata Jata. Is that your real name? Marjata Jata? That's nice. Got some alliteration there. Marjata, you said yes, but the question was, are you a girl or a guy? You can't say yes. Which are you? And where do you live, Marjata? That sounds like an Indian name, but I'm not sure. All right, so our other topics. What was it? We'll pick one of our other topics.
We had AI, books,
Oh,
reading.
let's talk about the importance of reading.
Yeah.
Because I was at the bookstore today at Barnes and Noble,
Hmm.
and I picked up. I'll show you the other books that I bought. I got. I got.
You ought to local bookstore, Monroe. Stop donating to Barnes and Noble.
I don't like. Well, there is no local bookstore in the whole entire Miami area. It is the most
Oh,
it is the most horrible place ever. I had to drive 45 minutes today to go to the closest bookstore.
wow. That
Yeah,
is.
it was pretty crazy. But I always buy books because and rather than the library because I have to write in them. I can't read a book and not underline. Uh, if there were a local bookstore that had similar types of books, I absolutely would. But unfortunately, the only bookstore there is a bookstore in Miami Beach on
Mhm.
Washington Avenue, but it's this new age bookstore, and the only books they have are these weird. I call them weird. I'm sure some people think they're really great, but books about whatever new age is. But they certainly don't have business books or books on technology and things like that. Uh, Key Small says, "Yo, how are you?" Sanket says, "You guys are amazing. Logically answered all things. And yeah, please, just once. Any English audio of this man on YouTube, you both will love." What's his name again? And Emily will write it down, and we can watch it
Oh,
later.
oh, sure. I was actually on his
Why does it
biography.
say there's one person watching, and meanwhile there are about 5 people giving us chat messages? YouTube, can you? You're a multi-billion-dollar company. Can you fix your bugs, please? All you got to do is pay somebody in India or Pakistan $100, and that person will find and fix these bugs. Please do this, or get someone for $10,000 that you're already paying. All right.
I'm looking up his world record now. Um, he died in 1990 though, and was very famous. And he wrote or spoke over 6,000 discourses.
What's his name again?
Osho. I
Osho.
yeah.
Okay, well, I guess thank you, Sank. Emily and I are both going to do our research on Osho and check it out. Jose asks if I am your gay cousin. I'm not. I am her gay uncle, actually. Marjata says, a girl, and I am from Gambia. Very nice. So educate us both. What is the capital of Gambia? Can you tell us what is? My guess is Gambia City, but I'm just making that up, and I'm sure that's not correct. Do you want to make a guess, Emily?
I really
You have
I'm
no idea, right?
no clue at all.
Maurice says, "Are we talking about Jesus in here?" We can if you want. Happy to chat about that if that's on your mind. Sanket says the book Autobiography of a Spiritually Incorrect Mystic. That's a really clever title. A
Yeah.
spiritually incorrect mystic, Osho. Osho. Nice. All right, so let me look at I'll show you the other books I bought today.
Totally.
The World of Sugar. How the Sweet Stuff Transformed Our Politics, Health, and Environment Over 2,000 Years.
Sounds super.
Book of Rise and Grind by multimillionaire David, or maybe billionaire David Damon John, who's one of the hosts of
Shark
Shark
Tank.
Tank. And I think that's important. I got this. I love the title because lately I've become a lot more lazier than I used to be. I used to be a person who rised and grind. Now I rise and do lazy stuff. And I want to get back to being the guy that I was before. And I got this about breakdiving, the science of scaling. Grow your business bigger and faster than you think possible. And the founders of scaling.com, which I have never even heard of, but now I'm interested to check it out. And maybe it's a community to help business owners to
They
help.
did that cover, I feel like.
Say it again.
They did a good job with that cover, I feel.
Yeah, I do. I do like this. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Has a nice. It kind of has a science, a mathematical feel with the. What do you call those things? It kind of looks like a compass. A
Uh, I I don't think it's a compass,
No, do you know what I mean? Like a compass. Not a compass that you use to navigate.
but a compass to draw. I do see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Something like that. But I mean, it's just kind of showing going, or maybe it's a slingshot. I don't know. It
Then
could be that. Make going from small to big, or
it's a parabola is the shape that we're looking at. And I appreciate the gradients they use. I think it's a nice touch.
you appreciate the what?
The gradients that they use,
Yeah. That's very
that's
nice.
a recent design feature that they've been doing. It's a gradient with noise on it, so you see the spotting.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So, I'm back to thinking that maybe the live streams do count for watch time,
Oh, okay.
but the reason why I was thinking that, I think maybe they're counting the views differently. Like maybe if somebody just comes on for like 30 seconds, maybe they're not counting that 30 seconds. Maybe someone needs to watch for a certain period of time before it registers.
Before the live counts as hours.
Yeah, something along those lines. I will know on the 10th because I've been doing the live stream. I've been doing live streaming every day on this channel since the 4th. So 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, or maybe the 3rd. So on the 10th, we should know. And it's been hovering around 2,264 hours for a week or 2 weeks. And anyway, Marjata, you're in Burford. Burford. Where is that? Is that a city in Gambia? Sankit says people gifted 93 Rolls Royces to Osho. Really? I would like. I should. I know what. I don't want a Rolls Royce gifted to me. I would like 100,000 active members on breakdiving. I will take those. Uh, Marjata, if you want, let us know about Burford. Let us know about Gambia and what it's like living in Burford. And we'd love you to come join our community. First of all, subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Please click like, double click the screen. You can like it very quickly, very easily. And download our mobile app on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store called Breakdiving. BREAKDIVING. So back to the topic of reading. Obviously, you can tell I love to read. What do you think about reading? Are you you're either a bibliophile or you are a what's the opposite of bibliophile? What's the Greek word? The opposite of file, but for hatred.
Phobia, maybe?
No, because that's fear. Maybe,
Um,
but that could work. That
yeah,
could work. A bibliophile or a bibliophobe. Do you love books or are you scared of books? Which would you describe yourself as?
I love books, and I really do wish I could read more. I think that my attention span is something that I've struggled with a lot over the years, just because of how much fast content we consume nowadays, and the access to TV shows, and I am a visual learner, so I find it really hard to focus on a book a lot of the times. But when I
Mm.
do, I end up all day, all night, I'll be reading.
What type of books do you read?
So I really like fantasy and action. I would say those are my favorite genres. And I have an assortment of nonfiction books that I've been starting, and I like those a lot as well. I again just struggle sometimes with being able to stay there for a while, so sometimes I'll just force myself to do one chapter a day, and that'll be enough for me.
That's good. What
Yeah.
what type of nonfiction do you like to read?
An assortment between
You,
female
what
and
did you hear? What you just said?
gosh darn it. Looking at my bookshelf, I would say an assortment of female empowerment, self love, and I'm quite bad at it with this one because I have to think back in my head.
Remember, just when you don't know what to say, what do you do?
Just pause.
Just pause. There's nothing wrong. You'll hear me pausing quite a bit. And by the way, this is good advice for any of you watching too. Don't say and you may have a different version of it in whatever language you speak. In France, it's
Is it really?
yeah. Je
Yeah.
ne-
Now that I think about it, in Spanish, we say a lot instead of It's an sound.
there's one in every language, and you just got to find out which is the one that you tend to say the most often, and stop saying that. What about fantasy and action? Do you like Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones, those type of things?
I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I will say the books themselves are very heavy, but all of the films are amazing, and I
Wait, I
love.
have to interrupt. We have 4 people now. I hope
Oh,
we got 2 likes. Hooray!
that's
Hooray!
awesome.
You guys cannot leave. You have to stay here long enough so that another. Oh, they left. We have 2 people. Ah! Sankit says very correct. Pause for seconds is best. See, even Sankit knows, and Sankit knows because Sankit is a reader of Osho,
This
and
is true.
this is a spiritually incorrect. What was it? A spiritually incorrect what? Mystic or
Miss,
something?
yeah, spiritual incorrect mystic.
Mystic. What do you think of the Lord of the Rings TV show on Amazon? Have you watched it?
No, actually, I was kind of taken aback by it because I know that it's not from the original creator, Tolkien, and I know that Tolkien is simply a legend in writing fantasy and created the foundation for all future fantasy. So it really is hard to compete with him in terms of being able to create a storyline at his level. So for that reason, I've stayed away. But I will say I'm sure that there are others who have enjoyed it and have taken their own spin on it. So if you have started it, feel free to let me know.
Yeah, I've watched both seasons. First season was kind of annoying. The second season did get better. I'm
Yeah.
so starved for. I was a huge Game of Thrones fan
Mm.
until the last season when they destroyed it. It was. Did you watch it? Did you see the last season?
I watched the first season multiple times and could never really get past some of the controversial parts of it, but I do know that it is very popular and many. I've met my sister's boyfriend actually was a huge fan of Game of Thrones, and he was also furious at the last season.
I'm still to this day. And you know it's just so funny. I'm also fear. And why was it so bad? It was so bad because again they didn't use the source material because the author Martin R. Martin. What's his first name?
I'm not sure.
I forget his first name. George R. Martin. He was so lazy. He had 7 years during seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to write the last book, and he didn't finish it. And so, what did they have to do? They had to come up with their own ending, and it was just
Tragic.
horrific. But
Yeah.
people get so mad at the producers of Game of Thrones for messing everything up. I blame George R. Martin because if
Procrastinate.
yes, and that which comes back to a good lesson as brake divers, we don't procrastinate. Get
Yeah.
off your butt and do what you need to do. And I know that George R. R. Martin has got to be so ashamed of himself that what ended up happening to his precious book because he didn't finish writing it. So, guys, please, if you're neglecting something important that you need to do, let this be a lesson to absolutely do that. Hi, Flora. Nice to see you. Good night from London, Monroe. I'm tired, off to sleep now. Flora, you can't come here and just say good night. That doesn't help us with the watch time. If you're still there, can you please turn us up, find one of our other live streams that's been recorded and just watch it while you're sleeping? We've only got about 2 more months to get this watch time, and then we're going to start losing what we got last year. Sankit says that Osho studied all the famous people born on Earth from the very first till the 21st century. This this Osho guy sounds pretty interesting.
I agree. If you
Mark,
could give me 1 second, my phone is about to die, so I'm going to connect it to a cord. I'll
yeah,
be back. Just
yep,
1
no
moment.
problem.
Okay.
Hey, Marjata, nice to see you again. You're saying hi. Okay, so moving on, we were talking about, oh, Flora, you're listening. Thank you so much. How are things in London, and how is your YouTube channel coming along? How many subscribers? Or actually, I think I can look and see. I'm gonna see how many subscribers you have now. 177. That's many more than you had before, Flora. So congratulations, you're almost at 200. Very, 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 very good job. So we were talking about books and the importance of reading. Why do I think it's important that we all continue to read? And you can gain inspiration from any type of book, such as these Lord of the Rings books. Hey, Emily, welcome back. Or Game of Thrones or things. But the best books, I think, are any type of self-help book. And I consider history self-help because you read about history, you see the good and bad decisions that people made in their lives. And also these types of books. So here's a book about using AI for not-for-profits. I got a book that was motivational, Rise
Mm-hmm.
and Grind. The more you read, it gets you out of any funks that you're in. And
Yeah.
we are all our own worst enemies. So it's usually not other people that encourage us to quit. Because even if someone else encourages you to quit, it's ultimately you who has to make that decision to quit. Am I right, Emily, or am I right?
Completely agree. Yes.
And Emily was telling us a story last week how when she was a young dancer, she didn't feel she was very good and she got put in the back of the ballet classes or whatever. And every day she was crying because she wanted to quit. But the only person that forces you to quit is yourself.
Yeah.
And Emily stayed strong. We've got 5. I think 5 is the most we've ever had, I think, on one of our live streams so far.
So thank you guys for listening in.
What's up, Harry S? Nice to see you. I've seen you on the study halls a lot, so good to have you here. Thank you for the 5 likes, all of you guys out there. Have you found when you read those self-help books, such as the female empowerment or the what was the other one?
Yeah, female empowerment and I wish I could stop saying up for a second. Burnout is one that I have right now, and it's on tackling stress in your life and finding ways to break that cycle.
Okay, beautiful. I mean, that is something that you will not waste any time. I mean, that is well used time in your day. And if you spend 10 minutes reading that or you spend 3 hours and you just get completely absorbed in it, my gosh, you're going to end up being a better person when
Yeah.
you're done.
And what you said books I think really also sparked an interest in me. I realize some of the nonfiction books I have are also on teaching American history in different ways and learning the ways that our systems are still working from previous years and how they've simply changed. And I do find those concepts really interesting.
They say that the people who don't study history are doomed to repeat it. And
Yeah.
and that's why I don't like a lot of sometimes the political discourse. I find it very annoying because these people don't understand both sides. I'm not talking about anyone in particular,
Yeah.
but it's like if you're going to make a judgment or something, make sure you at least know the history of what it is you are talking about. So
Totally.
any of you watching, you can become a better individual by reading Any history book. It doesn't matter. Just read more so you can learn about and try to learn about different perspective and say, like, what perspective is this history of the American Revolution written from? Can you recommend another American Revolution history book that maybe gives a different perspective? Doesn't mean
Oh,
you have to agree with that, but it's important to what did Sun Tzu, he's that great Chinese philosopher, he wrote in his book, The Art of War, know thyself and know thy enemy. Well, to
yeah.
know thy enemy, you should know what the other side thinks is correct, even if you disagree. You
I
should.
completely think that's a really interesting topic, and actually something that I recently read an article about the way that our current political disconnect has gotten so polarized to the point where people won't even be friends with people from the other political party, and it's infiltrated really like the personal levels in which we interact. And this article that I read, it was from the Atlantic, and it was called "Why Trump Supporters Think Trump is Good," because it was a question on his moral decisions in terms of, I mean, he lies, he cheats, he steals. We've seen it in the news, but people still have faith in his overall vision and do truly think that that is good change for America, to the point where it is a belief that is connected to our values, which is what has truly caused this disconnect within our people. And I really do find that concept interesting. And so when I do meet people who might not share my political affiliation, I think I try to talk about that more now, and how really crazy it is that we can't even agree on what is good and how we have
Mhm,
all moral relativists is what they call it, and the
mhm.
way we used to have religion to carry ourselves a certain way and carry our values in a certain way. Everyone was in a agreement of what a shared good was. And after the Enlightenment period, in which we abandoned religion and we decide that science and technology and individualism should truly rule, because everyone deserves an opportunity, we leave that shared understanding of common good. Because before they were just having wars over which religion was better and which one had the
Mhm.
best good. But now everyone just cares about themselves, and so that also is like an extreme of both sides in how we see that, and so now we've progressed again, and I think it's
I
really
hope we're progressing. I feel like we
yeah,
used to in years past, decades past, we would try to find the commonalities between us.
yeah,
Now we accentuate the differences, and
yeah,
I think that's what's been causing a lot of problems. Is everybody saying no? It's they're different. They're different. How about we look at no? But yeah, but we're the same. We're the same. We're the same. And
yeah,
if we don't find the things that unite us, then we're always going to be fighting.
bound to
That
be found. Yeah, and
there's
that
no there's no other result but fighting if
uh,
we're doing that.
the telltale tale that has happened with history, and why I say history really does repeat itself, because again we're at war, and truly there's no resolution there, and it's funny because I read history books like where holy wars were a thing, and people were like, I could never be with a Protestant or a Catholic, could never, like they could never mingle, and that was something that would, it seems silly to me because now it's, we don't really care about religious affiliation, I can just be friends with them, but
Well, I had
the
a Muslim girl and we were getting along really, really well. And then when I told her I would not convert to Islam, she
yeah.
said, "This will not continue." And I said, "Come on, come on."
Yeah. No, I do think that, like, there are religions that are a lot more strict, like what you just said. And I do understand to a certain extent why they do that, because that shared understanding of common good truly does bring community. And it is something that we should never abandon, and I do believe in having community, and I do think that that's something that both sides truly want, a united whole working towards something, because
Mhm,
and this is something that the article was saying, that when we abandon religion and we start focusing on the individual, we also start losing fulfillment, self-fulfillment. We're left with like a gaping hole is the way that they described it, because we're no longer, our lives are no longer for something greater than ourselves.
mhm.
So we start feeling empty, and then through hardship, we crave that. Whenever we have things like COVID or economic failures, you really see a shift in political alignment because people are craving that inner fulfillment. So it was a really interesting article. I can completely see it to you, but I do
Yeah, I'd
think
love to read that. That sounds very,
yeah,
very interesting. We got 7 people now. Boy, we're becoming very popular. Hope you
awesome.
guys will subscribe to our channel. My name is
Yeah.
Monroe. This is Emily over here. And Harry says all friends like, comment, share. Thank you. Sankey is giving me some more book recommendations from Oshu. Harry's from Tamil in Nadu. Krantz says, what band would you most like to have a beer with? Well, I don't drink alcohol, but I would have a proverbial drink with. Mm, you have to be a living. I guess it could be any band, right? I think the Beatles might be a fun band to have a drink with. How about you, Emily?
I will say the first one that came to mind was Paramore. I think it would be fun.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, that's the first thing. Yeah, Beatles is the first thing that came to me. Sankit says "Never Born, Never Died" book by Osho. Boy, Sankit, are you Osho's publicist? I'm starting to get the distinct feeling that this is paid promotion that has been undisclosed on this live stream. Man Vanth is reminding everyone, haha, Monroe likes Trump a lot. That's no secret on my YouTube channel. I talk about that a lot. And I'm the first. I always tell her that Trump is not a perfect. He's not a god. He has a
Yeah.
lot of negative aspects to it. And the truth is, I don't think I would get along with him. I don't think we would be friends. I wouldn't. I don't think that he and I would hang out together.
Yeah.
But I like some of the things, most of the things that he's doing for the country, and that's me. And maybe Emily and whomever else has differing opinions of it, but I agree that if as you said, Emily, it's getting better. I feel like it, as opposed to, like, you think about, I don't know if you can remember, maybe you were too young, but 2016. How old were you?
Yeah, no, I was in middle school. I was watching the election.
Okay, so you were sort of in the thick of things there. I mean, 2016 to 2024, it was tough, but I think the country is trying to find more, what do you call it, commonalities, as I was talking about before, and trying to say, look, if we I saw, and there was someone wrote an article in the New York Times uh, about a month ago or 2 months ago talking about, and it was someone who was a Trump hater, Democrat, who who for the longest time refused to speak to his brother, who was a Trump supporter. And then
Yeah.
finally he said, this can't go on, because if this is the way we treat everyone, we're never going to have friends anymore. We're going to lose connection with all of our family. And
Yeah.
and he said, I finally decided I'm going to call my brother, and we ended up having lunch, and we just agreed that we disagreed on those things politically, but we came together on the fact that we're brothers and all of these other things that we were always kindred spirits about. And he wrote this article basically urging everyone, we gotta put the politics aside and not make that the number one determining factor. And that, speaking, this is for breakdiving, and that's part of the reason why breakdiving is what it is. We want people to be welcome, and you, even if Ishmael and I are on complete opposite sides of the Israel Palestine debate, but because of the breakdiving community and the way that we're breakdivers first, and we love one another, and we respect each other's opinions, we're able to keep our friendship. And whereas on Facebook in 2016, I lost half of my friends
Yeah.
because of my support politically. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with Facebook? And, like, it's supposed to be a place. These are called friends. You get friends, and it tore me apart. I lost connection with so many people. I don't know if you did. Were you on Facebook back in when you were in middle school?
Definitely not on Facebook, and I try to keep my political affiliation away from social media just because I don't really like social media as a whole. I've never really felt comfortable with publicizing myself like that. I do feel uncomfortable with that, so for that reason, I stay away from it. But definitely, I felt the impact within my family and within um just friendships at school. Like I said, I really do think it has infiltrated at the individual level. And I love the idea of being able to just set our differences aside. And that's why I love breakdiving so much as well, because you are right in the sense that we create a community there, and really both sides do want community. And so that is the thing that everyone is craving, I feel. And so the reason I say it's hard to keep them separate a lot of the time is because that way that religion used to guide our lives at every level was is gone now, been replaced with
With AI.
with politics, and the way that our values are so closely aligned to our politics now, which is why I think it's more difficult because
You're that's a very astute point.
yeah.
Your political views has become the replacement for religion.
Yes, yes, it's become a modern holy war, and that is what the
Yes.
article talks about.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely. Please, maybe you could post that article in
Yeah, I
Breakdiving.
was I was about to say that, I'll
I
post
think a
it.
lot of now you have see you got something that you can post
Yeah,
that's
I'm
relevant to
excited about
everything.
that.
So I think a lot of other people would love to read that as well. Let me see what these other comments here. And Michael Wilbur says, "I throw God a hammer and he keeps dropping it, so I had to fire him." Is that a joke that I don't get? I throw God a hammer and he keeps dropping it, so I had to fire him. Does that mean you're an atheist? If you fired God, who's the girl? Her name is Emily Appel. She is a volunteer at Breakdiving. Breakdiving is a not for profit that I started. My name is Monroe Mann. What is breakdiving? Don't wait for opportunities to float to the surface. You want to dive in and make your own big breaks in life. So I created this community partly because the breakdiving community, I had this idea and I created it 3 times as a for profit. Once in 99 when I graduated college. I created it in 2005 when I got back from Iraq with the Army. And then I did it again in 2017. And all 3 times it just kind of didn't work. And suddenly, I don't know why, it just hit me. Maybe I should create this not about a motivational company created by Monroe Mann. Maybe it should be a not for profit spearheaded by Monroe Mann. So it's more of a gift to the world rather than it being about me. And the for profits always failed. The not for profit, it has been alive for 9 years. And it is growing. The YouTube channel is growing. Our community is growing. We just released our mobile app. You guys can download it, Breakdiving, on Google App Play Store and Apple App Store. And the whole community, as we're talking about this thing, everybody in breakdiving at one point or another says, every other social media I end up just abandoning, but I keep coming back to breakdiving because there's no toxicity here, because there is no one trying to ram their point of view down. Sometimes we have people make political posts, but we have a policy that we delete any political post that is one sided. So if
That
you
is
want to share your political view, you can, but you can say anything you want negatively about Donald Trump, but you better say why Republicans like Donald Trump. And I
yeah,
can say I don't like Hillary Clinton for these reasons, but I would need to put why many people in America voted for Hillary
yeah,
Clinton and share that. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Hillary Clinton, but she's an admirable person in many ways. And kind of going with the second chance thing we were talking about before,
yeah,
I, I oftentimes on my YouTube channel, I will people because people talk about Hitler, and I would say, guess what? I could give you a 1 hour speech, despite about the horrors of Hitler, and that he is a despicable man, and he killed so many Jews, and perpetuated the Holocaust. It was not good, made lives miserable for many people in Europe. I could still tell you, I could learn lessons from him. He was a great leader. He was an amazing orator. He was able to get people to do what he wanted them to do. I'm not telling you to use those techniques for bad, but you can look at him and say, could I learn something from him?
Yeah.
Anyone who says that Hitler has no good qualities has blinders on.
Yeah, I do agree. It's important to not only acknowledge both sides, but to truly understand what led to the outcomes that we see today. Because otherwise, we're also just choosing to be ignorant for no reason. We're not gonna grow from our mistakes. We're not truly gonna learn how history is gonna repeat itself because we're not getting a full picture. And I do really think that's why I appreciate the political policy and breakdiving and the way that it promotes community in a different way from like current social media applications and why I want to continue supporting it because it truly is a
Appreciate
great
that.
idea.
I think when, like all of the other social medias, not primarily, but it kind of just became that way. If you think
Yeah.
about Facebook, what do people talk about on there? Mostly politics. What do people talk about on X? Mostly politics. And that's why breakdiving is so unique. It's that no, it's creating community of friends who want to help one another. You can't help one another and make friends if you're criticizing them, if you're telling them. We've had some quote unquote heated discussions on breakdiving, but we've never let it get out of hand. And we always acknowledge that, look, we're breakdivers first, we're friends, and we're just trying to share our perspective and
Yeah.
try to learn. And that's the other thing too. Breakdivers learn. Most people on social media have no interest in learning about someone else's perspective. And even though I have my perspective on a great many issues and I think I'm right, why would I not want to hear the other side? Am I so am I so tenuous in my beliefs that I'm right that I cannot sit down and listen to what
Yeah.
somebody else has to say? Because if I am right, what they have to say should not, like, are you so scared you're going to be influenced by
Yeah.
hearing someone else's point of view? Mike, by the way, Michael Wilbur here says two ignorant people. Thank you. Appreciate that. Why did you put 1954? What
Oh,
happened in 1954?
is that is that the George Orwell book or am I
Well, no, that's 1984.
84? I'm like there's a 4 in there.
Yeah. Okay, 1954 is sort of around the time of the Korean War. I don't know if that Michael Wilbur, if you're still there and you want to de-ignoranize, I'm trying to come up with a word. Like
Educate.
de, I don't want I wanted to come up with something clever. De-ignorantize. There we go. If you want to
Uh-oh.
de-ignorantize me and Emily, you can please let us know why you mentioned 1954 and why you think that we are ignorant. Philly says middle school for me was 2002 to 2003. When were you in middle school? It was later than that.
Yeah, 2010,
2016, you said.
I think. Yeah, oh yeah, 2016 for
I'm gonna
sure.
age myself. What was I? When was I in middle school? 1988 to 1990.
Oh wow.
And I said 1991, 91, 92, 92, 93, 93, 94. No, it was 1989 to no, yeah, 1988 to 1991. And then I went to high school 1991. And freshman year was when Kurt Cobain came out with and Nirvana came out with Teen Spirit.
Oh my goodness. I do love.
Do you like Nirvana?
Yeah, I do. I'm a big fan.
Yeah. Oh my god. I want to. I got to do this real quick because I want to show you something. This is fascinating. So Kurt Cobain played. I uh, I don't think I'm a great guitarist. I'm decent. Okay. Let me. I want to make sure. Wait. Let me put this in the other because I want you to be able to see the guitar. Put this in this tripod here. Okay. So I'm gonna first play like Kurt Cobain plays, which is the guitar is flipped over.
All right.
So I'm gonna try to play, and I did this last week because I was thinking like I always see Kurt Cobain and he plays with this right hand on the frets and the left hand here, and I said let me just try to see it. After I did this, and then I flipped the guitar over and played the same chords normally, I realized oh my gosh, I'm actually a pretty good guitarist. So watch. This is me trying to play. It's going to sound so horrible. Wait, I know I can get this chord. Okay, ready? I'm going to
Yeah.
actually play that this way.
Okay, all right. Wow. That's
Crazy,
awesome.
right?
Yeah. I wish I could clap, but I'm holding up the phone. I'll do snaps. That's
This
amazing.
shows you how far you've come, because this is what it sounded like when I was learning to play guitar. And you realize, wow,
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain plays his guitar backwards, people. Now, did you know that?
No, I didn't realize
And
that.
so he plays his guitar like this. And the one thing I don't know
Mm.
is whether he restrings the guitar
Mm.
and puts the
In reverse.
reverse order, because
Yeah,
then it's not as difficult. Because I was also trying to play these chords using fingerings that don't
makes sense.
actually work. You,
Someone in the
you, you,
comments said
you should
he's
come
left.
watch one of my live streams when I play music.
Yeah. Someone in the comments said that he's left-handed, which is why he plays it back, which would make sense.
Yeah, he was left-handed, but the question is, did he change the strings?
I'm imagining
I'm
sense.
wondering, because I don't know because if you change it, you can't change the strings without changing the fretboard thing over at the bottom at the head. I don't, or if you got an actual guitar that was just completely designed for a left-handed singer. I
Yeah,
don't know.
those exist. I know I'm left-handed myself, so I know that cutting things with scissors is always a struggle. So there are left-handed scissors.
Do you have a pair of left-handed scissors?
I don't. I always just suffer, but I always question the day.
My dad was ambidextrous,
Really, that's
and
awesome.
he was able to write with both his left and right hand at the same time, and they both looked really, really good. But he told me that he did have to train himself to do it.
Yeah,
And
I that in middle school. I remember because I was in my stationary era trying to get like everything pretty on pen and paper, but my hand would always get tired. So I would switch to the other hand just so that I could keep writing.
so you would try to become ambidextrous as well?
Yes. It was
I
quite frustrating because it never came out as good.
I try to write with my left hand, and it is a disaster. It is so. What's amazing though is that with my left hand, I can play guitar with my left hand when on the correct frets when it's the right way. So it shows that I think if we're just disciplined, we can train ourselves to write with our left. Can you write in cursive? Did they teach
Yes,
you that?
I love writing in cursive. I'm a big fan of calligraphy actually, so I like practicing
You're an
calligraphy.
artist, so of course you probably just
Yeah.
embrace that immediately. Michael Wilbur says they are on different timelines. Who is on different timelines? Me and Emily? We're definitely from different generations. So that that's not a strange thing. That makes sense. That's why we're so entertaining, because we have different perspectives. Let me see. Sanket here. Jason Knight here is yawning. Are you yawning? Is that a yawning emoji? That's not
Oh,
very nice. Manvent says wars are ephemeral, effects are several, while both are inevitable. It takes some form: politics, football, games, competition. Monroe versus Ishmael. Perspectives, but same with positive growth. This is the thing. Kind of bringing back what we are talking about before. If Ishmael and I focused on our differences, between our differences on the Ishmael Palestine debate, we would hate each other.
Yeah.
But we are so much stronger on the fact that we love this idea of positive growth and friendship and helping people and bringing people together instead of oversaturated. So I think that's what we really need to do, is we have to focus more on unifying people and saying we Guess what? We both have 2 ears, Emily. I'm sure maybe we have a lot of differing views on this or that, but you got a nose, you got 2 nostrils, you got 2 hands, you got, well, I don't know
Mouth.
how many teeth you have left. You had some removed, I think, recently, right?
That's what, but you can't tell, so we're not gonna
We're
announce it.
not going to talk about the missing tooth.
Definitely not.
Well, it's now public for everyone to know. Emily Appel is missing a tooth. Extra, extra. It's going to show up on People magazine. Emily
No,
Appel is missing a tooth.
you're exposing me.
Jason says, dude, the type of guy to sit in the corner chair in a hotel room. It's not. I'm not in the corner of a room, and I'm not in a hotel room. But thanks, Jason. Good participation. We're giving you a participation trophy right there. Sankit's now talking about a community in Oregon by followers of Osho. Now Osho has a community in Oregon? Are
Wow.
you serious? And it existed from 1981 to 1988 on a 64,000 acre ranch?
What?
Sankit, are you making things up here? Are you AI just creating history?
We need to create a deep dive on Osho, I think.
I think so. Richard says that I look like a dehydrated prawn. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah. Richard's been very cruel in the comments.
I really appreciate that. That's very nice. Richard says he's all hyper because he feels this is his moment after being tormented most of his life. You know what? Maybe this is my moment. Emily, is this my moment?
I think so.
Wow, Richard, you're very astute too. I didn't think people would notice that, but that I am. That's why I'm hyper. Prawn head. What is a prawn head actually? I don't know what that is. Man Van says even I fought with him regarding break diving. Gonna have more of those. What are you talking? Fought with me? By the way, fought is not spelt like that. It's F. How do you spell it? Fought? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Marjata. You're still here. It's a chunky forehead. It's not chunky. It's actually quite smooth. It's a very smooth forehead. It's high quality. Jason Knight, Blues Clues. We just got a letter. People have said that I do look like that guy from Blues Clues. I agree with that. Uh,
Really?
yeah, but there were a number of hosts over time, so I'm not sure which Blues Clues host he was. And my bedroom actually smells very clean and fresh because I'm a very clean guy. Thank you for that. Man Van, need to study. I'll put you on mute. You said that as a compliment, but it came across as a. Actually, Man Van, because we're going to end this live stream shortly, could you instead, while you're studying, just find one of our other live streams that have been recorded and just please watch it in the background? And any of you who are watching, we are desperate. We got 2 months to get 700 hours more of watch time. So please watch our 11-hour study halls that we've recorded before and just watch it. Just watch it while you're sleeping or when you get up and before you take a shower and before you leave. If you got an iPad at home, just turn it on, let it go. It should all accumulate, and I think we can reach that. And oh my gosh, Richard, you are really just.
Richard's really going at it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna time out Richard. Even though we're ending the live stream, I'm gonna time him out for 10 seconds just so I don't have to read any of his stupid comments anymore. Okay, Sankit says last about him. People get Sankit. You already told us that people gifted 93 Rolls Royces to Osho. Furious Angel, you're still here. You're still here. All
Last
right,
year,
so I love it how all I get is what the heck was that guy's name that I just timed out? What was his name again?
Richard
Yeah,
S.
so all I get from Richard is constant criticism. All Emily gets is Emily is a hottie. Who's the hot chick? Wow, wow, wow. I want Furious Angel. I'd like you to say that I am a handsome host as well. Can you please? Can you? I'd like that.
Thank you,
Richard is back calling me fish tank head. Come on, Richard. All right, now you're getting timed out for 5 minutes. All right. You can Google it. Well, we will check more about Osho. Sankit says we're both equal. Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you, Man Van, for calling me a young and handsome host. Now that's what I'm talking about. Emily was it wasn't really about me and my self-esteem. It was mostly I did not want Emily's ego to get any bigger. because I started to see the ego meter going very high, and we needed to make sure.
I appreciate the humbling, Monroe.
You know what? If they're going to be the one criticizing me, I will be the one that will be criticizing you. Stop saying Emily. Learn to be a good speaker for crying out loud.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
Is there anything else that we didn't touch on that we could talk on for 1 minute? I just want to make sure I don't skip anything on those topics. We talked about that. Oh, keeping your dreams alive, guys. Ultimately, that's what breakdiving is about. Is you have dreams, and I'm telling you this as someone who's 47. Your dreams are harder and harder to hold on to the older you get. The more life beats you down, the more social media tells you that you suck, the more Richards who are out there that constantly make fun of your forehead or tell you that you suck, you start to believe it. It is not. I'm kind of immune to it because it happens all the time, especially on YouTube, and I'm okay. But I don't like to hear that. It's not nice. And does it make me think for a second, oh, wow, should I go get the hair transplant? Is my forehead that? Words do have meaning.
Yeah.
And the older you get, the more words you hear. I'm just telling you, breakdiving is about being around people who encourage you. And that's why, like, I don't want people like Richard here who are constantly just criticizing. I want people here like Manvan who says, yes, that I'm a young, handsome host. And there are no Richards on breakdiving. Right? So, guys, I just want you to stay strong with your dreams. Don't let your dreams die. Please keep them alive. And if you want help keeping your dreams alive, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to Breakdiving, and more importantly, come to breakdiving.io and come join our community. Download our mobile app from the Google Play Store and from the Apple App Store. And I think Emily got frozen there. So,
I'm back.
Sorry. Emily's back.
So I set up an automatic thing to block me after an hour, and I didn't realize that.
You did what?
So I set up like a time for a break thing on YouTube because I didn't want to be doom scrolling. So.
Oh, that's so funny. I honestly, I wish screen time would will allow you to say ignore time when I am on YouTube Live as a host, because this is like productive work. This is not wasting time watching on YouTube. The last comments here, Furious Angel will definitely look into it. Emily, should Furious Angel check out the breakdiving app?
Completely. We build a community there, and if you're looking for that, that's the space for you.
So check it out. It's BREAKDIVING. Manvan says very. What does that say?
INFP.
Oh, INFP. One of those tests.
Briggs, yeah.
What's a INFP thing?
I'm not sure what you said beforehand.
Oh, that's right. I don't know, Manvan. I don't know what you're talking about. Furious Angel says you've convinced me. Thank you. Furious Angel would also appreciate you to please leave a review on the App Store as well. The more reviews we get, the more we're going to show up in search results, and the more our community will grow. Can't wait to find out what your first name is when you submit your application. Sankit, goodbye. Have a great day. Thank you for your interesting discourse on Osho. Emily and I and everyone else watching has learned a lot, and we're all very curious to do a little bit more research. Manvan, great to see you again. If you want to start another chess game with me on chess.com, I will do it. But I want the handicap because I will never beat you otherwise. Manvan says, oh, the INFP thing was Emily doing that freeze thing and not using social media. A very INFP. Are you INFP?
I actually think I'm an ENFP now. So very close.
Did you hear what just came out of your mouth?
No.
But you're getting better. Twice you caught yourself.
Twice I caught myself.
Guys, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm trying to help Emily stop saying when she's speaking, because it's not a good thing for anybody. For me, for Emily, for you. Just pause. Just pause. Emily, do you have any final words that you want to share with everybody before we bid everyone a fond adieu?
Not much. I just, if anyone is interested, they can always take a look back at whatever we said during the lives, and we do this every week. So I hope to see them again next week.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Emily, Manvan, Sankit, Furious Angel, all of you guys. Great to have you here. Even Richard, even though he was a little harsh, and I think you need to find a dream to pursue rather than making your hobby criticizing people on YouTube Live. Manvan, yeah, send me the challenge. Richard is back. His 5-minute timeout.
Can
Man's
we all
snout
see
looks like a hammerhead shark. And the girl in box, trust he's a total manipulator. Be careful, he is not right. Watch out, Emily. I've created breakdiving strictly as a means to manipulate women. And so Richard's on to me. Richard is on to me.
Oh,
Bye, Furious Angel. The Furious Angel and Manvan and our other friend Sandcat make up for all of the negativity of Richard. Emily, have a wonderful time. Get your WSL working. If you
yes.
need help, please don't suffer in silence. Please reach out to me, and we'll get on a Zoom call with uh, some of the other coders, and we could spend an
Yeah.
hour together, and we will work together. And Emily, just to let you know, Richard Evans is deadly serious. That you should watch out for me because I am a manipulator.
Oh my goodness.
Manvan says he's the last thing to manipulating. Thank you, Manvan, for saying that. I appreciate that.
They said they.
Manvan knows how to use. Oh, yeah, Manvan. But yeah, the problem that Emily's having is getting WSL working with Ruby on Rails. I don't know. Do you think that you would be able to help Emily with WSL with Ruby on Rails? Because that's the issue that we're having. Because we want to get her set up so that she can start doing pull request reviews and making her own pull requests on the community. So reach out to me and let me know if you want to volunteer to. Manvent is a really good coder, in case you
Oh,
didn't
that's
know.
awesome.
And he's
Oh yeah.
also a member of Breakdiving, which I think you already knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bow down to God sitting inside you guys. Thank you, Sankit. And Richard says he will end up being a problem to you. He's way
Richard's pretty.
too excited towards you. Please open your eyes.
Oh Lord, just install Bash Mainline instead of so. Okay.
No, but you.
I
Why would you want to just install a bash command line instead of is that something new that they're doing, Manvan?
think I have a Bash command line. I don't.
Because I do too, and then I would actually go and use this is Go Rails that is saying this is the best way to use Rails on Windows is through WSL and using the
Yeah.
Ubuntu app. So
Yeah. I do have. I have a friend that I'm phoning for this weekend, so definitely think that that will help. But if I
okay.
still have into issues, I will let you know, and we
If,
can.
if in 2 weeks, if by next week when we have our meeting, you're still having problems, we're going into special emergency procedures.
I completely agree.
Um, Richard says he's panicking because he knows it's the truth. Hi, Days of Grace. Welcome. You joined us just as we're ending the live stream. But we hope that you will subscribe. We hope you will download the Breakdiving mobile app on App Store and Play Store. And before anybody else joins the live stream, let's say goodbye for now. You've got my IP address. Richard, Emily knows far more about me than you know about me, just so you know. It's not like Emily is talking to me for the very first time today. I made it work for the BDF. Wow, Manvan, very interesting. So can you email me and tell me how you did that, and then maybe I could share that with Emily as well, because maybe that'll make it easier for
Yeah.
her. I
I
didn't think you could set it up with just the bash command line.
I was gonna say I got the app, the mobile app running without a problem. It's the guy was able to get that, but the web application is the issue now.
I wonder, do you have Redis installed?
Redis?
You
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Good job catching your You
Yeah,
need to have I believe you need Redis. I believe, but maybe you don't need it anymore because we use solid Q. But you
yeah,
may need to have. It wouldn't hurt to go
to
into the
install it.
command line and within Ubuntu and install Redis.
Yeah.
And right. Well, talk
Yeah.
to your friend and see what's going on. We'll get it figured out by mid August. We will have you working on. Manva says I have access to it. The whole code, the web code.
Okay, that's awesome.
Saludos desde Nueva York. Buenos dias. Oh, you want to speak in Spanish to our friend here?
Buenos días. Oh, gracias. Saludos. Saludos.
Is
Doesn't
that
sound
right?
right.
Saludos desde Nueva York.
Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe a different. Peruvians. All Spanish is different, so it's a little different for every country.
And Richard is letting. Apparently, I'm going to be in prison in a few months. So, excellent, excellent. Well, Days of Grace, great to have you join us. Please subscribe. Emily and I do this every week, so you can hear us talking about lots of different subjects about current events or psychology, inspiration, motivation, and of course Richard. So Richard, we look forward to seeing you next week as well. Oh, you're from Puerto Rico.
Oh, very cool.
Okay, have you been to Puerto Rico?
My mom has before.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. All right, Richard, I think you're the last thing I want to say. I think you're a lot more excited than I am. You
I
seem
think
to be.
Richard is projecting. I think that's what's happening right now.
I think Richard has a crush on Emily. I think that's what's going on, Richard. We figured it out. We figured it out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. My name is Monroe Mann. I'm the founder of Breakdiving, joined by Emily Appel, a volunteer and a coder on the Breakdiving coding team, and also a co-host every week here on our little Breakdiving chat. Hope you guys will please watch our videos. We need more watch time. Just turn on one of our videos, click on the live tab, and watch it for 10 hours while you're sleeping, whatever. We need the extra watch time. And Emily, thank you so much. And I'm not even going to be reading any more of Richard's comments because he's just getting crazy. And Days of Grace wants Emily to follow him or her into the night, I guess. So that being said, this was very successful, Emily. This was the most interaction I think we
Yeah, I
had.
agree. Totally.
So what time was this? This was at 4:00.
We'll make that again.
Maybe let's try again 4:00 whenever we do that next week and see if we
Yeah.
get the same good 4 to 7 people turnout.
All right. Bye, Monroe.
Bye. Remember
Bye,
to post that article so we can all learn about what you
totally.
were sharing.
I'll send
Okay.
it. Have a
Bye,
nice
guys.
day, guys.